So what's the big difference between teaching face-to-face and teaching online? The biggest difference has to do with time. In a face-to-face classroom, everything is synchronous. It's all happening at the same time. The teaching, the learning, it's going on and you can see it, and the students can see that going on. With online learning experience, it's often asynchronous. What does that mean? It means that often you're doing some of your teaching and the students go off and do a lot of their learning separately. For example, they're going off to do their assignments at a different time, and they may, in some cases, mostly just be listening to lecture notes that you're leaving. And they can listen to those anytime. And the big advantage is that they can listen to them over and over again. One of the major challenges facing students in an online teaching environment is the idea of time management. Students require a great deal more discipline to get their work done when they seem to have all the time in the world. Of course they don't. They should have expectations that they should be doing just as much homework, if not more. In an online environment, they're seeing the teacher for a certain amount of the day, but then they should be complementing that, doing their reading, practicing their conversations on social media, and completing any other assignments that they might have. This begins with you. You have to schedule it for them. You have to find ways in which you make them responsible for organizing their time so that they get everything done. It also requires that the teacher monitor everything that's being done by the students. They should be setting goals and they should be meeting those goals and reporting on that in a regular fashion. Now, you were a student once, as was I, and you remember from being a student the whole idea of excuses. Oh, I couldn't do it, and the most famous one of all, the dog ate my homework. Now, students sometimes have excuses for not doing things, but in an online environment, they can't always wait. So it's important for students to be able to, first of all, reach out to you if they have a problem, but more importantly, get them into groups so that they can reach out to each other. They should always have partners and small groups that you can organize or ask them to organize through their social media contacts within the class. And maybe setting up those for them is a little bit easier. You can say, you need to be partners with these people. That can help because they can reach out to those other students when they don't understand an assignment, or if they don't understand a particular type of technology or how to use something, such as making a movie. Now this is really important because something else that you can do is try to identify students within your class who are experts in particular technologies, getting online, doing things with social media, doing things with making videos. All of those things can be really helpful, and it's very easy for one student to ask another student, often easier than asking the teacher. In terms of being accessible to the students, it's important that you set office hours, times when they can contact you, or if not that, maybe times at which you promise to turn around any questions that they have. So if you say to them, say, anything you send me, I will answer within 12 hours or 24 hours, then the student knows that you are going to respond. You can also follow that up by saying, well, if you haven't heard from me within 24 hours, please email me again, because maybe it didn't go through. When you do contact students and review their materials, review their assignments, you want to be sure that you're giving meaningful feedback. Now you can do this in a variety of different ways. You're used to probably giving some written feedback on assignments, and in class you're going to say, well done, good job. You should try to extend that a little bit if you can in the online environment. Sometimes giving them a small audio file with your comments, maybe a little video, even a photograph of yourself, an image taken with your computer, just with saying a big smile and saying great job. The other thing you can use are things like emoticons, little emojis that sort of express how you feel about the student's work. It can go a long way to, again, extending that community of learning that you're trying to build. A big concern of many teachers is the issue of plagiarism, particularly when students are doing all of their work at home. Now, in this case, one thing that you can consider doing is personalized projects, asking each student to make a little spin on the unit topic or the unit theme to answer in some different, some personal way. For example, if you're teaching something about foods, then maybe ask them to make a meal at home and narrate it. Give us all the explanations in English. Make a little video of it as you're doing it to share. If you have a class in another topic, say something to do with geography or customs in different places, just ensure that every student picks a different country and does it in that way. They're all going to be doing the same assignment, more or less, but they will be looking at different resource materials and coming up with slightly different papers. The big part of this is it shifts from a competitive environment where everybody's doing the same thing to a collaborative environment. You don't care if they're working together. In fact, you encourage it. But because they're all going to be doing something slightly different, everyone benefits. One online issue has to do with etiquette, how students behave. I'm sure that in your own classrooms you have clear expectations of what is and is not acceptable for students talking to each other and talking to yourself as the teacher. Extend those same rules into the online classroom. Make sure that students are aware of them and abide by them.